thought my radio would go off, but it didn't. Okay, I'm driving. Don't worry. I'm not even going to look at the camera. Yeah, I'm going to look at it a little bit, but not that much, okay? So don't be worried. Let me get my speed up. I just got back on the road. I'm headed to Carbondale, I think, to Giant City State Park. I'm going to do some hiking. And I brought my bike. What? I haven't put my bike in my car in years. So I have a bike rack. And when I lived in the Maryland, D.C. area, I always just put it on my bike rack. But my roomie always took my tire off for me if we were going somewhere far and I didn't know how to do it. So I YouTubed it and it was so easy. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm taking my bike. I got my hammock. I got a stool if I get tired. I got all the things. Okay, so let's get to it. How's everyone doing today? Whoop, whoop. It's Wednesday. I should have done like a Miracle Monday, but hey, Miracle Wednesday. It works, right? Miracle Wednesday. I know you thought, oh my gosh, you had an hour-long video on Monday. Are you not done telling your story? No, I'm not done. God has done so many things. I will never be done. I will never be done. I just had an awesome phone call, first of all, with Social Security. So if you are stage 4 cancer, you automatically get Social Security disability. So I was automatically approved. I haven't started drawing it, but I was automatically approved, and I'm going to start drawing it here before long. But the thing is, I don't want to be on disability. I want to go back to work. So I called to ask them, like, what are the rules about going back to work or whatever? And they said that I have, within 5 years of me being on disability, I have a 9-month period, and it doesn't have to be consecutive, that I can go back to work and make any amount of money. So I'm really excited. That means whenever I'm done with chemo and ready to go back to work, I don't have to be scared about going back to work and not being able to. Like, I can go to work and try it, and if it is too much, I can back off, or I can just come back home and draw disability, which I don't think is going to happen. But that's my first testimony. Thank God for that, because you have to wait to get on disability. Let's see, I've waited since March already. March, April, May, June, July, August, it's September, and I haven't started drawing yet. I think you have to be off 5 months. I can't remember. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Okay, so if you were at church last night, you heard a little snippet of the rest of my miracle, my testimony, and it's so awesome. Guys, you just haven't heard the end of it. Let me turn my music down. That may be distraction. Okay. When I was on my cruise, nope, rewind. I always have to rewind. So I have several degrees. This is a humble brag. This is a brag on God, because He helped me, okay? I have a bachelor's in education. I have a master's in advanced teaching. I have a master's plus 45 hours just because I was bored and I love school. I'm such a nerd. Right, Deanna, you're watching, you know I'm a nerd. I loved school. I loved college. I loved high school. I loved grade school. So my friend's like, you want to get some more hours? My friend Josh, I'm like, yeah, let's get some more hours. Because in education, you get paid according to how many degrees you have and years experience. So if you had that, even if you have a master's, if you have hours on top of that, even if it's not towards a degree, you get more pay. So I'm like, yeah, let's do it. So I have 45 hours on top of my master's. And then I was like, I'm going to get my doctorate. So I went to school to get my doctorate. And it was just taking too long. Let's be honest. I had been in school at that point from the time I graduated high school in 1999. In the 1900s. 1999, and at this point it was 2010, and I'd already gotten bachelor's, master's plus EDS, which is education specialist, and I was working towards my doctorate. And can you imagine the student loans? Because trust me, I was not paying for none of that out of my pocket. I was not like, here's my tuition, God's been good. No, I had student loans for all of that. So I've been paying on student loans since 2003, because that's the first time I graduated. So you don't have to pay when you're in school, but when you're not in school, you have to pay. I have more than what a house cost in student loans. 6 digits, okay? 6 figures in student loans. More than what my house costs. I live in Pleasant Valley, and my student loans were more than what my house cost. And I was paying on them, faithfully paying on them, regularly paying on them. But then there was something that came up, and it said you could get a borrower's discharge if you feel like the school you were in misrepresented the length of the program. And what that meant was, yeah, Walden University, you told me it was only going to take me 2 to 3 years to get my doctorate, and there I was going on 4 years still working on that dissertation. I had completed all my coursework. That was quick. I completed all my coursework, but then I kept submitting my dissertation. They kept returning it to me for corrections. Submit it, talk to my professor who was on my chair about it. He would give me corrections. I mean, it's like I was never going to finish this dissertation. And so I just quit. To be honest, I just quit. So what that's called is a doctorate ABD, all but dissertation. And places of employment recognize that. Of course, it's not as credible as if I just did my dissertation, but I did all the work. My professor just wasn't approving it. And I'm a good writer too, doggone it. My mom says I'm a good writer. And we know moms always tell the truth when they brag on their children. So anyways, I had all these student loans, and then I saw where I could apply for this borrower's defense. So I applied for my Walden University loans. It was about 4 years. It was from it was more like 3.5, because my dad passed away when I first started. So say from like 2007 to October 2010, I applied to have those loans forgiven because Walden University misrepresented the length of their program and the time it would take to complete their program. And if I got that dismissed, it was going to be great. It wasn't going to be 6 figures, but it was going to be like, hallelujah, I don't have to pay that portion of my loan. Like, that's just, and don't get me wrong, I believe I created the loans, and I believe that I should pay them, right? Like, it wasn't like I deserve a free education. Well, I mean, we kind of do. We're about the only country who doesn't get a free secondary education, but that's another Facebook Live, okay? Okay, so now, fast forward, it was like 2022, and I got a letter saying that I was approved for borrower's defense, and I was so excited. I told my girlfriends, I was like, y'all, I just got approved for borrower's defense, and it said that I was going to get back what I paid. So I figured out what I paid, and it was going to be like, from my best guesstimate, was like $18,000 of what I had paid on my student loans towards Walden, which it was kind of hard to differentiate because my loans were all consolidated, so it was kind of hard to like go back and trace exactly what I had paid to Walden University over time. So I told my friends, we're going on a girls trip when I get that refund back. We're going on a girls trip, and I'm paying. My friends who I told, they didn't remember because I reminded them lately, and they're like, I don't remember you saying that. Okay, so now fast forward, I was on my cruise, and I don't know what in the world. Why would I be checking my student loans while I'm on a cruise? I'm so weird. So I was checking my email, and it said that they have been trying to reach me. I do not know what the speed limit is, and I'm really lollygagging here, but I got something to say. I don't know why I was checking my email, but I'm a nerd. I was checking my email while I was on my cruise, and it said that they had been trying to reach me about loan forgiveness. And they were trying to reach me under my married name and at my old address on Church Street. Well, I haven't lived on Church Street since I moved in 2016. So anyways, I was like, oh, it's probably a scam. I'm not going to worry about it. But then I went and checked my student loan, and y'all, it said $0. Y'all, when I say I wanted to just shout all over that ship, I'm like, this cannot be right. This cannot be right. Because I was only applying to get my Walden loan dismissed, which wasn't all that much. All of my student loans were forgiven. Isn't that just like God? I mean, he put those loans, he put them right under the blood. All of my student loans. I was so excited. So I can't remember if I texted my mom or not, because I could only text iPhone users unless I got Wi-Fi and we weren't at port or whatever. So then my mom starts texting me from my friends' phones, like my friends who have iPhones. Like I think she texts me from Jared's phone, Rebecca's phone. She texts me from somebody's phone, and she says, I have something to tell you. Call me. It's good. It's about your student loan. I said, Mom, I already know my student loans were forgiven. I already told you that. Yeah, so I had already told her that. She's like, no, it's not that. I'm like, what in the world could it be? She said, you got a check. I'm like, I got a check? What? I was pumped. I got a check. So she said, well, I can't tell you. Sorry, I'm getting water. I'm like a preacher. I'm parched. She said, well, I don't want to tell you like over someone else's phone. I was like, oh, okay. This is serious now. But she said, I think it's for half your salary. And I'm like, what are you talking about right now? She said, I thought it wasn't real, but it's real. So I cannot wait to get home. I could not wait. So literally as soon as my feet touched the ground in Miami, I was calling, and she told me how much it was. Guys, I said y'all too much, so I'm switching over. Guys, I mean, when God does something, he does not do a halfway job. You put something in your mind that you want God to do, and you better believe that it's going to happen. Oh, I didn't even tell you that part of the story. Okay, so I do lots of rewind and lots of back and forth because I'm ADHD, if you didn't know. I got a check, a refund check for what I had paid in student loans, and it was to the penny what I make in 6 months. It was to the penny 6 of my paychecks. Guess how many paychecks I'm for sure gonna miss while I'm doing chemo? I sure didn't get a check in August. Well, I got a little bit because I had 6 sick days, but trust me, it wasn't much. I'm thankful for what I got, but it was not much. I was gonna miss August, September, October, November, December, and then I think I would miss January too because I'm not working in December. Guess how much my check was for? 6 months salary. Won't he do it? Won't he do it? Okay, so, that's enough to shout about. That's awesome. And don't come try to rob me neither, because I don't put that money in investments. I'm smart. Work smarter, not harder. I was like, you know what? Let me put that money in some CDs, in some low risk investments that I can get to, because I don't want to spend it, because what if I am off work for longer than that? I wanted to be smart with it, so I ain't out here taking trips. Anyways. Okay, so the other part of that testimony is when I found out I'm not going to be able to work. Like this week, I'm perfect. I also want to say, like, this week my health is amazing. I feel wonderful. I just feel tired, sleepy. I still sleep a lot. Like if I'm not going and doing, I'm at home asleep. It doesn't matter if I'm sitting in a kitchen chair, I'm asleep. which is why I planned a little outing today, because I'm tired of being tired and sleeping. But other than that, I don't feel like anything's wrong with me. Just tired. So I'm grateful for that. When I found out I wasn't going to be working, I was so upset. I mean, that was my choice. But I have a pump for 2 days. I have chemo one day and a pump for 2 days. Can you imagine working with preschoolers and having a needle protruding from your chest and tubes? That's not going to work, guys. Obviously, that's not going to work. Also, just the level of nausea and how slow I get around and how tired I am. I could work every other week, but that's not really something that was offered, and I am not guessing that that was possible in the job that I had, so I'm not working. And I was really upset because I have a lot of commitments to my church and a lot of commitments that I made to God. Tithes, I believe in tithing on 10% of your income. Well, my income on long-term disability, I'm just going to tell you, is $1,500. Well, come on. That's not, thank you, Jesus, for $1,500. But I also have to pay my insurance, which is half of that. I also have, other bills and obligations. So there was more month than there was money going to be coming in. And I wasn't worried about bills. My main priority was I want to be able to pay my tithes. I also give to missions. I have 2 close friends that are missionaries. I support them monthly. I also give to my building fund at church. I also like to give in general offering. They're just things that I believe as a Christian I'm called to do, which is to give in tithes and offering and to support missions and to support special projects. And I was really like, God, hello, I'm not going to be able to do that on $1,500 a month. Even if I give you the first, you're supposed to give God the first of your income. Okay, I can give that first of my income, but then I'm not going to have money left to pay my insurance and then other bills. So I just left it up to God, and look what happened. He provided. So now I can tithe on what I was making when I was working and continue to give in my offerings, and I'm so grateful. So I know this video is much shorter than an hour, but I hope it was impactful, and I hope that if you remain faithful to the things of God and to the work of God, and just be faithful in everything that you do, but especially in what He's called you to do, which is to give that first 10%. Not if you have 10% left at the end of the month. I believe it should be the first 10%. I believe that should be the first thing that you do when you get paid. And my parents taught me that very well. And at a young age, I believe that He will multiply that, and He will stretch it, and He will grow it. And we don't have anything to worry about. Why was I even worried? There was no reason to even be worried. That's another thing. We worry about things that we shouldn't have to worry about. We tell God what we need, not always what we want. We tell God what we need, and it's there. It's there waiting for us. So that's my Miracle Wednesday. I hope you enjoyed it. And I will be back next Monday with I don't know what. You guys wanted me to do this vlog, and I'm like, I'm pretty sure you're already sick of hearing me. So I don't know what next Monday will be. I would like to do some shorts, like short clips of photos and stuff that I've taken along my journey. So we'll see if I can figure it out. I've been trying to figure it out. Today I am bike riding and hiking / walking at a snail's pace through Giant City State Park. So have a great Wednesday, and God loves you, and so do I. How do I end this?